we hopefully are going live in about 2 seconds. If you can already hear me or see me, I hope you can join us today. And just wait for it to go live. There we go. Hi everyone. I hope you're all well. I've been getting a bit of a suntan because I've been playing in the garden again. So I just hope you're doing good. The weather's great here at the moment in Canada. I've only got 2 more weeks left and I'm in tears. It's really, really hard to leave my family, even though it can be challenging, like we all know with our families. But it's been so good, and I've still got a few more to do. I know we've got 2 Zooms lined up next week as well. Pip's here with me as well. She's just sending the link out to you all nice ladies and gents, and she'll be doing the comments today, and I will be doing some work today. But I'm really excited because it's all about pigment pastes and transparent pigments. Absolutely amazing products to work with. So Pip's just going to come and say a quick hello. She's hi Pat, hi Paul. She's having a bit of an obstacle because I put all my wires this side today. Here she comes. She's got a crook in her neck, so she's a bit crooked today. But she's looking good. She's looking good. She's getting younger by the hour. So we're good, but we just want to share some of these beautiful products with you today, don't we?
Vibrant products.
And used in lots of different ways.
Then there's lots more ways too.
There is so many.
We can't capture all of them.
No.
In the little bit of time that we have.
So today, some of you have already seen this. Pip's very kindly posted this one. This is what we're going to be creating today. So I'm going to show you how to do the background, how to add the elements, and how to actually create this tag.
And what did you use on that?
So what we used was that's a good point, is the...
you can tell them. You tell them.
I will tell them. I used the transparent crackle, which Dad is in love with. I used the pigment pastes and transparent pastes. And I used the beautiful chipboard from Fabrica. I think it's so beautiful to work with. It's so solid. I mean,
yeah. So it's an MDF, not a chipboard.
MDF.
It's an MDF,
and it is absolutely beautiful to work with. And I can just show you actually what I've just stenciled on top of it.
Thanks, Paul. Paul says great lighting.
Oh, great. So we've got 1 light today. So I don't know. We don't know what happens.
We don't know what's happened because we only got 1 light.
Maybe I cleaned my camera or something.
Maybe she cleaned her camera.
So I just wanted to show you that. Now, you want to show some examples. Some examples. So this is a tree Dad created.
Yeah. So this was done on MDF. So on this side, we have the pigment paste. So pigment paste is a solid, deep, rich color. It is exactly what it says it is. It's a pigment. So that is a pigment paste. And then on this side, you can see a slightly lighter green. This is the what do they call it? Transparent dispersion pigment.
That's it.
And what that does is almost like a stain, if you will, but a very pigmented, dark stain that doesn't actually seep into the wood like some stains do. And then Dad did some transparent crackling gel on it, and it's just amazing because it looks like it's got icicles hanging off it. I loved it. He didn't quite care for it. I think he was going for perfection, but I don't think he realized that this is exactly what happens when the snow turns to ice and we get icicles. And I was telling Dali, this was a canvas that was ever so popular last year. And that tree would work here. So that tree is an MDF. So there you go.
There we go.
Right there. So whoever did these canvases with me last year, I think there was like 30 odd people. If you remember, there should be 3 reindeers there. The other 2, I'm not sure where I've got them. They're all...
They're gone with Santa.
They lost in the move. So this is MDF. The houses that you see, let me see if I can get this straight. So this house here, they're on MDF wood.
And the sledge as well.
And the sledge too. So you can take any products to those MDF products, to those MDF parts, and create whatever you want. So that's one way of using your MDFs. There's another way too. I had done actually, I think, a YouTube on this one.
Hold that and show
Yeah,
that.
thank you. And this one is also using MDF. And one of the reasons I'm glad you adore it, Jill. I adore it too. The Fabrico MDF is not like a thin chipboard. So for me, when I'm trying to create depth and a 3D effect, this saves me the trouble because it kind of does it all for me. So that is all about the chipboard. And I can't even tell you, I think we mentioned it last week. We have hundreds and hundreds of different designs in the chipboard. So I'm just going to show you MDF. I just did that too. So I'm just going to show you a couple of designs. So they're like this. This
that's
is
an
one.
A4, at least an A4 size.
Yeah, they're big. So you can see how big they are.
So many elements, don't you?
So many elements. And we
even use bits that are left over.
Yeah. And a lot of people I see do that in mixed media. They use those to build up their canvas. This is one of my favorite. It's this lovely heart, steampunk heart. And I have tons and tons of these Christmas ones. I mean, they're just great to put in front of big albums, your canvases, like I said.
Great for mixed media cards as well.
And mixed media cards, yes.
Yeah. So if you want to get that depth, then this is what I love. This one. This
yeah,
is one
you like
favorites.
this one? This one's your favorite?
Yeah.
We actually even have, I haven't brought them over here, but I have on my shelf 12 by 12s in these for a whole album.
You?
Yes, I do. Whole 12 by 12s.
Oh, you'll have to pull those out because I love 12 by 12s.
You love 12 by 12s? Well, I will go get the 12 by 12.
These chains. So if you're doing
chains, yeah. So, I mean, I love Pentart MDF. I'm gonna go get that, and you can maybe the Fabrica, and you can maybe show them what you did there.
While you wait I will do that.
Because now you want to see the 12 by 12.
Yeah. So I showed you this just earlier. So what I've done is I've just taken the blue pigment paste, mixed it with the heavy body gel, and just put it through the stencil. And the detail is just absolutely beautiful. This is just a scrap, by the way. And then what I did was, with the same stencil, I turned it over and I created this effect. This is just the leftovers of turning the stencil over. Then the little bit of pigment paste I had left, I've decided here, move my hand this way, I've decided here to put it through. So these two have been done the same way, these bits at the bottom, these two here. Oops, let me get that into camera shot. And this is just the leftovers, but just imagine this as your background for something. And I'll show you some of these techniques as we go through. But I absolutely love that. I just think it's such an easy technique, but it's the pigment paste that make this so lush, because you're never going to get that true primary blue very easily with anything else.
Yeah, that's a pigment paste. It's just absolutely gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'll quickly run through these. I just want to show you there's usually two types of MDFs that Fabrica does. One of them is like this. And what... Oops.
It's heavy.
They're heavy. So you can do shadow boxes, so you can actually make it a container to put stuff in, or you can make a diorama.
Yeah.
That's why Jill probably loves these.
Yeah. Adds loads and loads of elements.
Yeah. And then the rest, these are the great big 12 by 12s. See? They're just huge.
They're just so beautiful. And they're statement pieces.
Yeah, you can make a whole dream catcher out of this one. I've just brought a few of the ones. These are really popular, so these go off the website. I think I only have one each of these left now anyway. These ones go really fast.
Some of these are absolutely beautiful. I know in the UK we're about to place an order for when I return, so we'll be having a lot of these back in again. We sold out in the UK, a lot of it. So, but I know we're getting these in. So if there's any requests, and just let me know.
The other one, this is now a chipboard. These are true chipboard. Oh, I don't know what I dropped. Oh, your flowers. Yeah, and these are actually chipboard, so these are more pliable. But these also in a 12 by 12 that I have on the website. Now, the big ones I don't have many left. The little ones I have quite a lot, like I said, maybe hundreds. Jolly's getting them in the UK. They're putting an order into Fabrico. Right. Unfortunately for us,
They're just starting, aren't they?
Yes, so I checked with Canada Post yesterday, and they still have not opened up the border to receive parcels from the Ukraine. Whether they come directly to Canada or they come through the US, they just won't allow parcels. So Canada Post has asked me to keep checking with them. So I won't be getting any of these products in any time soon, just so you know.
But you have got some.
I got loads of the smaller ones. Not that they're small,
No.
they're big, and especially lots of Christmas ones. But we don't know when Canada will open receiving from the Ukraine. But the UK is definitely able to get it. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, well, ours have sold out, so that's why we're placing an order. And Pip ordered a lot more than I did, and she's ordered twice already.
Yeah,
she was greedy.
I love the MDFs, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm going to just show some examples. You did this one, so do you want to just
show
that?
I can just show that one. So this one was with the transparent pigment paste. I mean, you can stamp on this and do whatever. I just wanted to show you the background you can create. So I just added some of the magenta and some of the purple, spritzed some water on there, and then I dropped some rock salt or just regular kosher salt and some thin salt, and I let it dry on there to give it this dreamy night look. I wanted to see if I can show you underneath. Dali's glued this down, but that's okay. No, that's okay.
Glued it really well.
Yeah, she's glued it really well.
To show?
But I just wanted to show it doesn't bleed through, and this is just a 60-pound paper. Oh, there you go, 60-pound paper. So it doesn't matter how much color you're going to put down with the pigment, transparent or.
They're not like It's really hard to explain. You need so little.
Yeah, they'll see.
Yeah, they'll see.
So this is just a 60-pound paper.
Yeah, and the two. So Pip's technique is just
very different. Mine's very just watercolory type technique. Throw some down, a drop down.
Look lovely with an embossed stamp on it.
With an embossed stamp on it would look lovely. A lovely starry night kind of.
Or even some of the MDF.
MDF,
and you did it on a bigger level.
Oh yeah, that would actually look really nice. What about a big canvas and did a nice scene? Yeah. So that's just one technique. I didn't really play a lot.
So I've got a couple of others. So there's one there which is using the transparent pigment pastes. You're doing a dance there.
I'm doing it so they can see you. And the card. No. So now you can tell them what you did. See?
Oh, okay, sweetheart.
See, now they can see you.
So basically, on this one, I'm going to do this one as one of my demos just before I start the tag. And I've used the transparent pigment paste on here, just versions. And then on this one, I've also used them. So I've done it on a matte version and a gloss version so that you can see the difference, but they move perfectly on both. So this is a really great technique to use. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to do this.
The star of the show. And you're going to incorporate both the MDF and...
just all MDF, really.
And all MDF. And the other thing, I was talking to you about it earlier. I don't know if you did a sample or not, but I was talking to you was, if you take any of these pigment pastes, the transparent or the regular ones, and you put them into the transparent crackle, you can put them into not component one of any...
component two.
Yeah, component two. Perfect. Component two of any crackle to color that crackle. Yeah. So you can color your crackle automatically with these pigment
heavy
pastes.
Body gels or your
heavy body gels. Yeah, heavy body gel. I've seen people use it. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm going to show you some of that today.
Perfect. And then the other thing that I wanted to say, maybe the biggest difference for me between the pigment paste and then between, these are both green, they look identical, between the pigment paste and the transpersion, is one is a more, I think, yeah, and it's more of a mixative to put in your modeling paste to color your modeling paste, color your white paint, create your own colors, because there's 5 primary colors. But that's how I would use a pigment paste, to just give different effects and colors. The reason these are all rainbows because these were done as a sample for a retreat. But yeah, you can color your own.
You see how vibrant they are on black as well as white.
They're absolutely, so they're very beautiful. And then with the transparent ones, they're transparent.
But they still give a real depth of colour, which is what I'm going to be using on my first demo.
And you can use them in resin, the heavy body gel and stuff like that. But I'll let Dali get on with it because it's her show today. I'm on comments, so I'll see you guys at the end.
Give her loads of questions.
No, don't.
Please. So I'm going to start you off. I'm going to start off with doing these two techniques, I should say, rather than cards. So these are the two techniques that we're going to be looking at. Okay, so one's on a matte and one's on a more glossy. I'm going to start off with the matte one first. So that's that one. But I still love that. So all I've done is I've taken an embossing folder and just embossed some cardstock. So it's quite straightforward. I'm just going to move the screen down so that you can actually see me doing the demo. Really easy to do. So don't need very much at all of anything. So let's go for it. Hopefully you can see my workspace and the lighting is still okay. So I chose, in that one I've chosen, on this one I chose purples and yellows. I might actually choose some different colours. So I might choose a bit of the blue, because I just want it to be different. And what I did, this was just what I did, I decided to put, and I mean, look at that, it's a tiny weeny bit. And you will see what I mean. These are great as watercolours. I mean, look, I'm using so little. Great as watercolour to paint. These are great to create background papers. I'm going to put a little bit of pink in. Not too much, because you will see, and I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in. So I'm using the transparent ones at the moment, because as Pip mentioned, just put a little bit here. And this is where the magic happens. I can't tell you that these are just so underestimated. So, there's my water gun. So this is where the magic happens. I hope you can see my magic. But look, can you see that? And just look.
Yes.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, I was on the dotted. So you're dotting in the flowers? I
dotted in the flowers, but you could do it any way you wanted to. I just wanted to create this effect. Now, can you see the vibrancy of that and the colours? Now, I haven't let this dry naturally, and I'm wondering if I let it dry naturally, would it be as matte as this?
It's like little fractures.
It is, and what it does is it seeps itself through wherever you want it. So I'll see if I can hold it up for you. Let me put a little bit of kitchen roll underneath, and I'll see. Yeah, I have to switch up. See if I can actually hold this up, because they are so rich.
You are so prepared.
So let me just hold that up. Now, can you see how they just want to go where they want to go? They're all water-based. Let me hold that up a bit higher for you, then you can see it properly. There you go. And can you see, I mean, that effect you could not get, I don't think, with any other product. But just look at the vibrancy of that. Yeah. So I'm going to actually let that dry on its own and see what effect I actually achieve with doing that. So let me just put that aside for a second. There we go. So that would be the matte version. Now I'm going to move on to a glossy version. So all I've done again is just a little bit more glossy. It's not like a photo card. It's just like poster board card. And that's what I'm going to use. And I'm hoping that will dry by the end of the session. And we've got that really nicely dried. Okay, so this time I'm going to go with different colours so that you can see totally different colours to what I've done before. Then I'm going to drop some on the leaves in the greens. I mean, it's such a nice technique. You could do it with two colours. I've done it with quite a lot of colours there. And I think yellow is one of my favourites, and I keep going back to it. So I'm going to put a bit of magenta into this one and see what I get this time. And seriously, you need so little. And again, you can add these to all your pastes and get an effect. Now you could go back in again, same technique. And again, what I'm going to do is this one I just did with two colours, and all I'm doing is I'm just moving it around because I want it to go through all of it. So you've got a really nice, and I quite like the negative space as well. So just look at that. I mean, it's just, I can't tell you how amazing it is. And I just think it's such a beautiful technique to create, so easy to create. They're really like a burst of colour, really. So they're absolutely beautiful. And really, you don't need anything more than this to create these colours. It's much easier than using a powder. It's much easier than using anything else. But just imagine you've got so much that you can create to create these backgrounds. Absolutely beautiful. So one on a matte version, still drying, totally different colours. Now I put a lovely sentiment on there, matte and layer that. And you've got two beautiful, beautiful cards. Thank you. Two beautiful cards. So I'm just going to let them dry naturally while I do some other techniques. Right, we also, so that was the one that I'd finished before. All I've done is added some metallic gold onto these to give it a little bit more of a shimmer. But those are the two techniques I wanted to share with you just at this moment. So the next bit was I wanted to show you how you can use the pigment paste. Now this is the pigment paste of how you can use it, say in a heavy body gel. I love the heavy body gels. These can stick down a metal spoon, by the way.
It's a good glue.
It's a good glue as well, yeah. I love it. I really do swear by it. And what I'm going to do here is I'll use the blue to show you. I could use any colour really. So all I'm going to do is take a good bit of dollop of this. Obviously, do not contaminate your products, whatever you do, with the pigments, because you will never get them out. Now watch this. It's magic. Seriously, I can't tell you what it does. So
you're so excited.
I know. I think because I've always wanted something I could spray water onto and it would move.
Oh yeah, they're so vibrant.
So I think I probably added too much. Should really use a cocktail stick. Now I'm in trouble. So look at this. Look at that. And that was one. I'm not even joking. It wasn't even a drop. I would actually use a cocktail stick. I just realised that I think I've got far too much pigment in here. And just look at that. It's too late now. I've added it. So all I'm doing is mixing. I can't tell you. It's so lush.
Oh, I love that blue.
I know. It's such a beautiful. It's like a. Well, it is a primary blue, but it's. So you can mix these colours, by the way. So you could add.
Jelly, are you using it in the heavy body gel?
Yeah, heavy body gel matte.
A matte? So, okay, so it will dry matte.
It will dry matte, yes. So you'll get this look that I've got here. There you go.
But if you do want to keep it shiny, then you can use a heavy body gel shiny.
Yeah, glossy one or gel paste glossy, yeah. That's not a problem. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it through this beautiful peacock stencil. And this, the only thing is, I'm not joking, I can't tell you how far these pastes go. I put such a
drop. You did too much, did you?
Yeah, I did too much.
Yeah.
You nearly need to just do a cocktail stick, but it doesn't matter because it will still look. It's just so little still. I mean, I don't know if you'll ever finish them on this at this rate. So I probably need your help to get this put through the wash because
I'll do it.
Yeah, I chose this stencil because I'd already dirtied it before. So I'll just show you.
Gone to Miss Gloria.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. Right, ladies, there it is. Now this will dry matte.
Oh,
so you can just see how beautiful that's
gorgeous.
just on a piece of cardstock. Thank you.
Do you want me to take your palette knife too and bring it back nice and clean?
Yeah, I'll just wipe it onto there and just do a little bit of smudging because then I can.
Smudging? You need sage. Not sage. Is it sage?
Can I just show? Actually, I'll just show you a quick technique with that stencil very quickly. Remember, I spoke to you about using the reverse of your stencil. If I do that now for you, and I put that here, what I should tell you is what I did was I wet the paper, and then I put the remainder down. And I love this technique because what this means is you can use any paste that you've got left. Just use it on a bigger paper, and you can create this effect. There's Dad creeping up on my sister. So what you get is you get this really lovely background. And it cleans your stencil.
And it cleans your stencil, but I'll still go wash it.
But she's going to go and wash it. So remember I created these two effects? That's how I did it. Let me go back and show you. Okay, so now we've got a few effects going on there. My sister to pick those up while they're still wet and I don't ruin the whole place. So we've got quite a few bits going on. There we go. Just gonna have a sip of tea. Now to, as Pip would say, the little showstopper. Okay, so how do I go about doing this? So basically, what I've already told you is you can basically do like a spray effect. You can add these to your products. You can use them with transparent paste. You can use them with opaque paste. You can colour your white acrylic paints with this to any colour you want, and you can mix them together. Now they give you a sort of more of a transparent look, whereas with the pigment paste, so to use a cocktail stick or very, very little. And again, these will give you the richness that you really need. And the reason for that is because they are a paste. They're not a liquid. So what it does is it doesn't change the composition of your paste that you're using. Oops, I'm throwing them away now. Okay, so that's all of those, that bit done. Just wipe this so we're not going to get everywhere. We've still got a bit left there. Maybe I could use it in my project. I hate to waste stuff. Right, so my next job is to show you how I've been doing this. So this is exactly what I'm going to do, show you. I've just got a few elements of the MDF. I've got a few elements of the these. I'm just passing Pip just some of the wet stuff so she can just move it away. Then I'm not faffing around with it all on my table. And so you've got some flowers. We've used just white flowers. That's how they started. So, and that's where they ended up. So the way the pigments work, I just can't explain to you. They are literally magical. So I really recommend, if you want to colour your products, use the pastes. If you want to create these sort of water effects, sort of different types of tones, then use the transparents. Both are very different. Right, I know Pip has a few of these tags left. They're really a nice size and really, really nice to work with. I know we have them in the UK as well. So what I started off with was, doing, and this is like, I know this is a favourite for a lot of us back at home as well. I know we've all, let me turn it around so I can get that right. So these are the transparent gels. So this is the crackle effect, which you saw on the tree, which you've seen in the background of my tag. So what I'm going to do is, I do it a simple way. I'm going to do a random sort of background with this. So I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm just going to take it down onto the actual board. Now where you don't cover this, because this board has no primer on it, and you could primer it, because it's just a white grey board, you will find that it gives a different look. So all I've done is I'm just putting a little bit of that.
And I find that one, you let it dry naturally, it really
does its magic, doesn't it?
Did you have the little thing that Dad made the other day? His practice piece.
Oh yeah, he did a really nice practice piece. It should be there, the red and the gold. So I don't really want to show you because it was so perfect. And I've got to now try and emulate that. And he did actually come on.
Hide it then?
No, we should show what we've been doing. We've got a few.
You can colour your moulds too.
Yeah, you had another one coloured as well, didn't you? A really nice, vibrant one I saw.
I did, but I don't know what I did.
Oh, she doesn't know what she's done with it. Bless her.
I hid it.
She's hid it. So I'm just wiping this product off. So Pip was just showing you while this just sits here. Right, that's the transparent with the pigments. Now, can you just see that? It's absolutely beautiful. So he's obviously put it on quite thick. He's let it dry naturally. Totally different effect. And I know some of us used this the other day on our bird cages as well. And again, you get different effects. If you use little, you get little cracks. If you use a lot, you get lots of cracks. So that's one of those. And then the other thing you can use them on, which is absolutely brilliant, is creating this really beautiful background. So if I show you, I can let me drop a little bit of yellow into
So
this.
that's with it letting it dry naturally.
Yeah. So let's drop a little bit of yellow, transparent into that.
It always does better when it dries naturally.
I think so, and you always let your products dry naturally, which is Dali doesn't. She doesn't do it.
So Dali, if you put it into the Stamperia Heavy Gloss Gel, will it be shiny when dry? Jill is asking.
As long as it's still it's a shiny gloss to start with. It shouldn't change its properties. So what you can do here is like we've done before, is just let that dry. Now it's pooled in places, so what I could do is just pick that pooling up a little bit, and then what you'll get is you'll still get little bits of that. You can see where the white is, and the yellow is just taken up on that. So again, very easy to change the colours. So it's just another technique that you can do with these. Obviously you can do, look at that, just a little bit of yellow, look at that.
Yeah. Jill was saying in fibre paste is brilliant to make the flowers.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, didn't think about fibre paste, did we?
No.
So that's a good one. But just look at this. I don't know what to do. I want to keep everything. Now you could make a beautiful flower out of all the bits that you've kept.
That's probably why I hid my vibrant one, because I knew you would do something to it to enhance it even more.
Yes. So I'm going to just take the heat gun, as we've just talked. Don't do that. So I thought I'd do that. So here we go. Yeah. Trying not to put my computer to sleep. So as long as it's sort of tacky dry, which mine is, I'm going to take the part 2. Now I could add colour to this, but I'm not going to on this occasion. But this is where you would add the pigments in. Use the paste, because if you use the transparents, what will happen is you will, unless you're using it in a glossy, I might use the transparents. But what you would do is change the consistency of some products. It's like anything. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking my component 2, and again I'm doing it randomly. I'm not going over where I had or hadn't. I'm just sort of lifting it, putting it down. I'm creating a background for my colours to sit in.
You know what the really exciting news is?
Yes.
So you get like the 5 primary type colours, right?
Yeah.
You do, and you know you can make any colour from those, right?
That's right.
That's Colour Theory 101. You know that they're only $3.99 a bottle.
$3.99 a bottle?
That's what I sell them for.
Oh my God.
Is that right?
I don't know. I've never known your maths.
Paul will tell me. Pip, you've just undersold yourself here. I just check in on my website, because I use them all the time. I'm just checking on my website.
I don't know what you do. You did
I don't know.
A couple of weeks ago, she did it with the
my
dyes. I don't know what she does.
50% off. No wonder I don't make no money.
Yeah. Maths was never a strong point.
No, definitely was not.
So just drying this. It's always hard to see the cracks on white on white, but that's where the magic will happen. Okay, so let's start. I'm just going to go with random colours. I have no rights or wrongs here. It will probably look totally different to what I've done. So I'm going to put a little bit of green. This is Dali all over.
That's what I love about you.
There we go.
It's just so random.
It's all random, child. So random. So again, probably too much. Let's just put them.
That's the problem. You got to be really careful.
You really do with these. They're just quite scary. how much you put down and then realise, oh no, I should have put less. But always have some, which I don't at the moment, have some cardstock available. Because what you can do is use that as your leftovers to leak it all on. So very similar to the card technique I showed you.
Are you hinting at
I've got this one here I could colour as well. I've got a piece here as well, Pip. And what you'll see is if you wherever you haven't got as much gloss down, the paper will just absorb it. So you do need some sort of medium behind it.
Yeah,
now this is going to be
a card if you want to. Oh, you have some over there too.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
my goodness.
It's going to be very, very vibrant.
That's when that spray comes on dahlias.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm just going to go in, and I've not done this technique before. So just imagine embossing this again. Just look at that. You can make a beautiful card out of that. So I'm just going to use that as my background. I don't want to smudge them too much because I don't want to lose that effect. And what's happening here is it's seeping in. So look at that. Now just imagine that, die cut, just imagine that with a sentiment to say thank you on. So what's happening here is, just making a mess other than that, is we can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift some of this and just let that be. I think I'd like a little bit more pink on this side. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to bring that in. And you can see that when I start drying it, you can see how this will seep in into the crackle cracks. So each time you do it, it will be different. Now I'm going to dry this. And I'm just so happy. And for some reason, you get this like gold shimmer. Haven't quite worked out. I think the colours, when they get the transparents, just give this real glimmer of a gold. Don't know where it comes from, why it happens. So can you see that? So that's going to be my background. But each time you do it, it will be different. I mean, I don't know any other product that creates this dramatic effect, to be honest with you. I mean, just look at that. It is just so dramatic. And it's got a glimmer of gold to it. It's where the light catches it, I think, with the gel. It's just so beautiful. Obviously, let it dry properly, not like Dali does. And then what I start to do is I look at that, how, so that's my background there. It's lighter. I've wiped a lot more of that away. I've kept it a lot lighter. I've gone for more vibrant this time. So there you go. So same colours. So it's amazing how much of a difference you can make. So now I'm going to start to put this composition together. Not exactly the same, slightly variation, so that you can have a look of how I'm working with that. So let me start. So I've just got a few of the bits that I have from the other one. Not exactly the same, but some of them. So I started off by putting, this is one actually, one of my favourites, ones to create. I don't know if Pip has any more of these, but this is it's the decorative elements, but you get so much in this. And then you can, it's nearly like a 2-in-1 because you can still use what you've got left, as we were talking about earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take an element out of this, not too much, I don't need a lot. And I can use the negative and the positive if I wanted to. So let me lift this bit out. They are so nice to work with. They're quite large as well. Just pulling this out because obviously we've got the. This is actually quite a difficult one to pull out for me because it's actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. So there we go. Look at that. So I could either use this as my background, the big piece, or I could even use the elements that come out. So I'm actually going to use some of the elements that come out because they are so beautiful to use. So what you do, it's quite a clever way of doing it, is we can just break some of these off. Or you could leave this sheet if you were doing a 12 by 12 project and use it that way. So let me take this little one out from here. So don't throw anything away from these because they are so user friendly. I'm just going to break that bit out. And they are so easy to get out, even though I'm probably making it look harder than it is because this is more of a maze. So I'm going to use a part of this. I'm just putting this down at the moment, just seeing how I want it. So maybe I want my lampshade over here. And I want to keep some of this. I love some of these colours, so I want to keep some of these colours as well. So that's really important to me. So maybe I want to hang this off here. So it's just a matter of me. I've not had these products before, so I'm just standing here and playing. So maybe I want to have this up here, a little bit there. I want to bring that further down because I still want my flowers to be the focal point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my composition slightly. And this is what the beauty of these products allows you to do is you can just stand here. I'm doing this just off the top of my head.
But that's when you work best, unlike me.
No, that's not true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my flowers into here. So I've just got 3 flowers and all I'm doing is I'm just turning them over. So what I'll probably do is I'll put my flowers, they're quite big flowers, up here. I'll just hold that down a little bit with that, move those up a bit. So let's put that there, I can cut those flowers down. So all I'm doing here is putting my composition together. So I just absolutely love the effects that you get by working with just a few products. I've not got a lot of products here, but you'll still get this really effective elements. So put that one up there. So now can you see where I'm going with this? So just a few elements, not too many. I want to fill that gap in the middle. So I'm going to take some of that, you know, the board I've just used. I'm using a bit of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck that, let's tuck it this way, underneath. So I've got this really, I've still got something going on here where I want it to be. Okay, so I'm quite happy, oops, she says, moving it all to the middle. I'm quite happy with my composition.
That was fast.
So, oops, oh my God, that was fast. So, let me just bend these up. You could keep them or you could just do whatever you wanted. Okay, so there we go. That's my composition as it goes for the time being. So now I'm going to show you how to get it to look like, or try to get it to look like this. Okay, let's get started and let's try and do
the magic.
The magic. First thing, I'm just going to use a hot glue gun, but you could use a heavy body gel. And I'm going to just stick everything down. And I don't worry too much, as you can see, of what I'm doing. Pip just laughs at me all the time. She's just thinking, oh my God, that girl, she is mad. So all I'm doing is just sticking these down. I'm not going to primer these. And so these will just be in their natural form. As long as they're stuck down, I'm not worried too much about it. You don't need to have any lines that you don't want. You don't need to. All I'm doing is just getting a basic composition together so that we can see how it's going to look. Okay. So I like the idea of that bottle in there, like at a slight angle. And by the time we finish with it, hopefully, my little... Today I've had this corner of my parchment paper which just wants to curl up. Right, so the MDF is just so, I can't tell you how beautiful it is. It's just so beautiful. Pip's laughing again at me today. She's in a bit of a laughter mood, I think, today.
And 3 millimeters thick, you know.
3 millimeters.
I'm assuming that's what it means.
Yeah, it's right. So I'm just putting my little lampshade there. Let's put our little, not little again. These are gorgeous Christmas cards all the way. They're solid, but then don't weight it down too much. I don't know where I would be without some of these pieces for some of our bigger projects. So let's put this one here. And you could leave more negative space. I know Pip wants to teach this class as well, don't you?
Because, yeah, I'm teaching a class like that for the ladies.
So it would be nice to do something like this. Obviously a little bit different to this, maybe a slightly different theme. So I'm just going to put this beautiful hope. These are beautiful as well, these big sentiments. I know Pip has loads of different ones. Very inexpensive, but very, very, really do set a statement when you're doing
family, kiss, love, cherish, happiness, you name it, I got it.
So look at that. So that's where we've got to in terms of decorating our board. So you can just see how lovely that already looks without doing anything. Now everybody at this stage would say, oh no, aren't you going to put primer down? Aren't you going to do something else? So I'm just putting my flowers where I think I want them. And the answer to that is no. No, I'm not going to put any primer today. I will use the primer at the end, if we get a chance, if it dries, to actually do some highlighting like I've done in here. So this is all highlighting, where you see the whites and the splashes. So I've come in with a bit more white to break those colours down. Okay, so I am happy with my composition the way it is. I don't really want to do much more to it. I don't want to add any more to it. Very simple, very quick, but very effective. Okay, so the magic. Da-da-da. This is where the magic happens. Okay, let's make some magic happen. I'm going to use the transparents again. So the technique is very similar. And again, let's just put some of it there. Oh, I nearly forgot. Before I do that, I actually added some modelling paste to my project. And the reason for that was I wanted some light and dark areas. And I also wanted, a little bit less than that, Dal, is some effects on this. So not too much, just a little bit. I'll lift that off there because I'm making them there. And all I'm doing is just adding a tiny weeny bit. Let me just show you that. Don't worry about the yellow, I'll just put it into my flowers. And all I'm doing, because I still want to see the elements behind, and I'm just going in. I nearly did forget this, and this is a really nice way. So you could use a different paste. I've just chosen to use this paste. But this again, the paste takes so well the different products that I think the effects it gives are just so lovely. Again, I'm going to put some into the flowers. Put some onto the steampunk bit at the top. So just, this is very, very random. So there is no rights and wrongs. If you miss this bit, it doesn't matter. Just give you a different look, that's all. So again, I just want to put some in there. Don't want to waste anything, you know what I like. So there we go. So you could do this beforehand. I quite like to do it after because then I'm not coating it too much, all of it. And I'm going to do a quick dry on that. There we go. That's good enough for me there. Again, nearly forgot that step today. Right, that was the modelling paste light. You could use the modelling paste. So any modelling paste you've got, you could use. You could use other pastes as well, I'm sure. So let me quickly dry this. So, I'm not supposed to talk. mean, I'm doing this very quickly, but you could take your time and do this and get really nice effects. But that's where we've got to now. So this is, now I can say this is where the magic happens, because I was running before I walked. So I'm going to bring that yellow in again, just a drop. Again, remember, don't go too much. Put a little bit of purple in. Don't forget to put a little bit into your flowers, and again, just a little bit, because otherwise what we're going to do is we're going to have too much, and your flowers will take it differently. What I find with the flowers is you might want to come in with the water quite quickly, because otherwise the paper will absorb. And you need a lot of water, so just use your spray gun, your water to do that. And can you just see that? That's just so. And then from there you can start to look and see, well, actually I do need more. I need more blue here, or I need more other colours here. You know, I don't like the way the flowers are looking, or whatever it is that sort of you feel you need to do. You just go in and you just do it. And I don't know how to describe this technique to you. It's just so beautiful, and the way it works, it's just so magical. So let's put some pink on this side. Let's put a bit of pink on. You know, even I've got a bit of chipboard there. It's taken to that. It's taken to the flowers. There's nothing in here that it hasn't taken to, that it won't look nice. And again, you need so little. And again, you need to just tip these up and down, just get them to go wherever you want it. Again, you could have something that's just sitting there to absorb it, piece of card. Now this one's really, really vibrant, and I don't think I've seen anything so vibrant. The other one's much more toned, and the reason the other one's more toned is because I've come in with a lot of primer white at the end as well. So let's get some green into these just to break those up. So again, it's just so magical. And again, you just keep going in.
Jasper.
Keep doing.
Paul wants Jasper.
Oh, Paul wants Jasper. So Jasper is a little, well, he's not little, he's a big jaguar. And Paul got him as a birthday adoption because he thinks I should look after somebody. So he's my little adopted Jasper. So Paul hasn't seen him. He's been all over the house. He's done all naughty things. He's a right little monster at the best of times, but he's kept us all entertained very, very much. So now can you see where I'm going with this? Very vibrant, but once you start to add the white in, you'll see. I'm going to actually, maybe I'll add a bit more water to my flowers. If you want to move the water around, the colour around a bit, you can just add water. But obviously it will start to set. So I've used all the colours there actually. I don't think I would be without any of the colours. And now it's just a matter of drying it. And the background is just amazing. Oh, you can show him.
So when I first saw Jasper, I didn't know whether he was a tiger, a leopard.
They probably can't hear you over the girl.
Oh.
You're going to have to tell him in a minute. I'll switch the gun off so you can just talk about him while this dries a little. Go on.
So when I first saw Jasper,
I knew he was coming because Paul had shared the secret with me because he came for Dolly's birthday. And so I knew he was coming, but when he didn't tell me what was there, but he told me there was something there for Dolly for her birthday. So when he arrived, when Dolly says, I got a jaguar, I looked at her and I thought, no, that looks like a leopard. You must be mistaken. Then she goes, no. I says, well, his legs look like a tiger. And she goes, no, it's a jaguar. And then I read the label, and sure enough, it's a jaguar. In my mind, jaguars were black, but not this one. Not this little guy.
So he's been adopted. And let me just hold. There you go. I'll move it back so you can raise him a bit more now.
I can't see him there yet.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a delay. You'll see him in a minute. There we go. He's a big boy. So, supposing there are some jaguars which are jet black. But he's gone out of view now. I've got my hands slightly clean. There he goes. And he's been adopted by the, I think it's the World of Wildlife. So he's got little adoption papers. So we're doing something good for the environment. So he's just so gorgeous. But he's our family pet, really. Very low maintenance, except when he gets very naughty and climbs stuff. So that's where we are with him. He's going to sit in the pigment paste products for a second before I don't get it too mucky. So, where did we get to? Look at the vibrancy on that. I mean, where do you get that sort of vibrancy from any other product? So, I don't know. Maybe you do. And can you see, when Pipple takes him really...
He's so cute.
Oh, you can see the crackle coming through at the back. At the moment, it looks like a mishmash of colour, but once we start putting the white primer in, we'll see it all come to life and highlight. But look at the 3D already on there with the MDF, the flowers, the bottle. So very simple, but very, very effective composition. Oh, I might need a brush from you, sis. Please. Need a brush. Just getting it.
Oh, sorry,
she was miles away.
I was writing Paul a message. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not a problem. Just a little brush.
What kind of brush?
Just a. There's probably one in the laundry room. Just a dry brush a little bit of the white primer. Let me just stick. I think my lamp needs a bit of sticking down. I think I've lifted it because I put so much water on it. So there we go. I just love this effect.
With these work?
Yeah, any
grungy ones?
No, that's good. That's good. I'm just using a little bit just to do a bit of dry brushing with the white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the white primer. This is just the Pentart white primer, which we use a lot to highlight. Now this is going to be still a little bit wet, so just bear with me on that. But what this will do now is help us break down some of this quite vibrant colour, and if anything's come loose because you've put so much water on it, see, look, already the pigment's still wet, and when I'm doing that it's colouring my brush, so I didn't even get
yes, Paul, you're right, I just looked it up on Google.
Is that right?
No, I told him not only am I not good at math, but apparently my animal recognition is not very good either.
Yeah. So what we need to do, what we need to do is just keep wiping the brush, because otherwise you're going to transfer colour, because this is still a bit wet. So at home you would want this to be a lot drier, because otherwise all you're going to do is just transpose colour. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm lifting the white up.
Gorgeous background.
Yeah, it's a nice background, isn't it? And we're just gonna, I'm gonna have to let it dry, and what I'll do is I'll come back to this and I will show you exactly what it looks like, because if I keep doing this, all I'm doing is colouring my brush, because it's still very, very wet. It does take a while to dry, just because we put so much water on it, but hopefully you can see how I'm going to finish this off and how bright that is. So exactly both, but I've added a lot more product, and just look at that. Oh, look at that, look at that. You see? You wouldn't believe I used exactly the same products. There you go. So what I'll do is I'll go back and lighten that with the primer slightly. I've obviously lifted a lot more colour off this when I was doing it. But both of them.
Wow.
And I love that because we always have something which is a little bit different. I'll put them both together for you. Well, she's laughing at something else now.
It's paws.
And
apparently, when you got your Jaguar,
yeah,
you said, "Can I get a photo with the tiger?"
Yes, I did.
Somebody runs in the family then.
So there we go. So one of the other reasons I have a Jaguar is because my father worked 22 years or more in the industry for Jaguar, and I was very lucky to get a voucher. And so I have a beautiful Jaguar, brand new car, which I haven't actually driven because I've been stuck in Canada.
And you're scared of it because it's a big SUV.
It growls. So all of that growling and everything, I hope you really, really enjoyed what I've done today. And I think this is a great mixed media project. And again, I'll show you those quickly. There we go. All that depth with all that MDF and all those flowers. I'm all over the place with it. So we're really happy that we've been able to share that with you today. So pigment paste, transparent dispersion paste, lots of different colours, lots of mixing. Experiment, enjoy.
And water. They're all water-based products.
They are.
So they clean up. I'm going to move this because I don't want to get it on your book.
Okay.
So if you give me that, I'll take it out of your way.
Excellent. I'm going to give this brush a quick rinse while she's doing that. Because and they're not too messy. I mean, you can see, even though we've used a lot, I think this is a good thing about them because they are water-based. So Pip's decided to come into the scene.
It's my baby. He hides a lot.
Yeah,
today he was in the tea cart.
Yeah.
Yesterday he was hanging off a door. I hid him in the peony flowers one day.
Yeah, he made a right mess of them. My sister wasn't impressed.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he really move the flowers? Really
he did.
Badly? Good, I'll hide it there again.
See, she's a rebel, I told you. Right, so let's move on to the last bit, which is to show you what we're going to be creating
next week. I'm going to do something with my Pentart Butterfly Kisses, which is rice paper. We've done lots of journals, but I think what I'm going to do is do a cover either on a binder using rice paper, nice binder that you can keep all your products and things in, to show what products do and what they don't, like sample pieces, like kind of the two that I showed you. So I can start actually putting holes in them and put them into a binder, or I will do it on like a diary or a journal. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. In terms of the Zoom, the ladies that I'm seeing tonight, you will be getting your Zoom
kit. This is on the 22nd of July.
22nd of July. We're trying to fit these two in Dali's last week. So you ladies who have ordered this is coming to you tonight, those of you that I'm seeing. And thank you. And also the people that I'm seeing tonight who have ordered this, this Zoom will be on what day, Dali?
That's on the 23rd.
That's
so one
on
after
the 23rd.
Other. Anybody who's bought the kits get the video, the 3-hour video, and or partial parts of the kits. And so it is a closed group. And those who can't join the video but want to do it can also do that.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm so excited about this one because look at that. Ooh, grimy. It looks like it's growing on there.
I know. I'll try and create that again.
Yeah, I can bring these maybe tonight.
Yeah.
For the ladies, if they want to take a peekaboo at it, especially the ones that are taking the kit. And yeah, that's it really.
That's it really for now. So then we'll let you know, because obviously I will go back on the 28th, which is a Tuesday. So we probably won't do, we may not do a Facebook Live that day. We might say bye-bye to everybody then.
Yeah, we might say bye-bye to everybody and go through some of the different projects we made.
That would be nice.
Yeah, just a recap. Nice. And then just know that Dali will do something when you're in England. And
of course.
I will try and continue to do something here. It might not be every week because we're not tag teaming, but We'll see
no, we'll
what
definitely
happens.
keep it going. We definitely will, one way or another. So we'll try our best. So Pip might do 1 week and I might do another week.
Yeah.
And that way we can challenge each other.
Yeah, just no one reading the comments and helping each other out and making what we feel are funny comments.
Yeah.
I hope you guys all enjoyed our picture from way back when we were in primary school.
Oh, yeah.
I had shared that like 2 years ago, and then it came up in my feed yesterday, and I couldn't help but share it again. I'm sure you can tell who is who on it. Yeah, the one with the mischievous grin, all serious, but got that glint of mischievousness. Her, the cute one, me.
She was very
with the
cute.
round face.
She's so cute when she's little.
Oh, thanks, Dali.
So we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah, we're going to say goodbye, and I'll see you lovely ladies tonight. We'll have some goodies. I will bring the MDF boards as suggested by a few people, and I will bring some of the pigment paste and stuff tonight. For those of you who I'm not seeing tonight for the class, let me know. You know I'm really good about delivering and stuff like that. The other thing I just want to say with tonight's class, is our second class tonight. I will post what we did last week today, and then we'll play with tonight. And just a reminder that August the 4th to the 28th, the second set of the mixed media classes start. So if you haven't signed up, please do sign up. Okay, I think that's it. We good?
Everything from us. Bye. Bye from Jasper too.
Bye from Jasper too.
Bye, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Bye, Paul. We're not sure we're going to let Dali bring him back, but we understand he's for the dashboard of her Jaguar.
Bye, Jill from the UK. Bye, those who've joined us today. Growl, growl.
Bye, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. He's so cute.